Hello and welcome back. Today we're looking at getting the best possible start in this game for a new player or a free-to-play player. This account has been brand new. I've made it just for this video, and in 4 days I was farming Fafnir stage 11 with Ingwe, getting the best runes in the game, and on day 5 I'd completed the main guide quest, and we were nearly ready by day 6, the morning of day 6, which is when I've recorded most of this footage. I then had enough promotion fairies to make my next 6-star. So this is a very fast way of starting your account. If you look down the description, there's going to be timestamps, which will also put chapters on the time bar below this video. So if you need to find anything, you'll find it on there. If I have other videos on my channel I think are relevant to the information, I'll add a link down in the description next to that timestamp as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is your natural 5-star selector, and a bit later on your 4-star selector that you'll get. At the start of the game, after you've fitted runes, you'll have access to your mailbox, and in there will be Freya and also a little box which contains an option to choose any 5-star off a list. And I promise you that Ingwe is the person to choose. He is key to so much and can do so much just on his own. He's nearly as strong as a team just on his own. So I promise you Ingwe is the way to go. Other people will say Esperanza. She's very, very strong, but she just can't do the things that Ingwe can do, especially at the start of your account. So go for Ingwe. Don't worry about what everyone else says. You're going to get the most out of your account by doing this. Later on, you don't have to do this straight away. You can wait to see if you pull him first. But by the time you come to need him, by the time we get to the end of this guide today, if you don't get Vulcan, you should definitely pull Vulcan. He is... I've got a video on him that will tell you, but I use him all the time in TOA-H, and he can also solo farm Alagos on floor 10. He is a really good hero. Right, so let's talk about sort of the meat of the guide really, and that is following your path guide found in the achievements section. You come down to path guide. In here you're going to have a main quest. I had this completed on day 5, and in here it has these chapters, and each stage of the chapter has these things, these requirements, such as awaken a hero or use XP, that sort of thing. You can look at them in advance. When you're on chapter 1, you can look at the next 2 chapters and see what's coming. But also, as you do each stage of the map, you will unlock new elements of the game, such as Arena, Awakening Valley Rune Dungeon, and as you awaken those, you also unlock new paths. And each of these paths has a sort of a quest chain, if it were, with fantastic rewards. And the best thing about this is that you can actually line them all up with your main quest, and get loads of rewards for just for playing the game. The main point here is that you shouldn't do anything in the game unless the quests and the path ask you to. If you jump ahead, you're actually being detrimental to your own progress, and you have to do stuff twice. So if we look at hero strengthening here at the start, just for booting up you get that. Apply 1 set of life runes. Well, back in the main quest in the early chapters, one of the rewards is life runes. So, you know, they work hand in hand, and you just do what it tells you to do. A lot of these things that will require you to do things such as awaken or add skills. Add skills is one of the hardest ones, and what I've done to get around this and get it done quickly is to keep one of each of these skeletons and one of each of the slimes, and having those 6 in my inventory has allowed me to get these awakens really easily, because their awakening materials are really cheap. I don't know if I've got one to show you. I've got no 1-stars to show you, but their awakening materials are really cheap, and you get so many of them that it's easy to feed duplicates and skill them up. And I'll show you the skills here. It's really easy. This one's max skilled, you see, and the very final quest on the path for strengthening here is to upgrade all of a hero's skills to max level. So the cheat for that is to do it on one of those skeletons, because it's so easy. They only need 6 duplicates to do that. So it's well worth holding on to one of those and one little duplicate just in your bank, ready to finish that off. I'm actually going to feed off those slimes now. I don't need them anymore. So I will now level these up, turn them into 3 stars and just feed them away. But these skeletons, they do have additional use because they have interesting A1s that have knockback and continuous damage, and they also heal themselves. So they're decent little 1 stars, and I'm only keeping them because I think they're fun and there are ways you can use them in the game. So they're not going to be any good for your progress, but later on they're fun, so just keep hold of those. Okay, so with the mission guide out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is your map progression and the importance of having friends. Looking at the map here, we had no trouble at all clearing all of this on hard mode just with Freya and Ingwe. Often just with Ingwe, the easiest way to get a 3-star on a lot of these stages is just to send Ingwe in on his own. Once he's got his vampire runes on him, he can just self-sustain and take down a lot of these. And then if you can't quite do it with that, you can then manual it with Freya as well, and just be a bit. She's a bit squishier than Ingwe, so you have to be a bit careful with that. But often you can 3-star just by manualing as well. And then we went on to Conquer. I just threw him in, and this is just how he got on his own. So, but what happens is on Conquer, you will get to this point where you can't beat some of the bosses. You just can't do it. I think it's from District 4 onwards-ish. Some of these bosses are just too hard. So the way we get around this is to use a friend hero. I'll just show you by clicking Start Battle. These are our friends down here. And all we've done is, as soon as you can, just click up here on the speech bubble and just click on people. And if they've got a good, strong, like this one, no, don't bother. No, not good enough. But if they've got like a 6-star Esperanza or a 6-star, Faust might be good enough. But a lot of the times these Esperanzas, the people who did choose Esperanza, you can utilise those people by making friends with them. You could even just type in her, SB friends wanted, please, and just send that out there, friends. Just send that out there, and people will just add you. So they'll send you a friend request, and you just say yes there. And that is key, like making these strong friends, because you can only use them once per day. They will absolutely catapult you through this. Through these conquest stages that you can't quite do with your Ingwe. I mean, when I was doing these, my Ingwe, he was 6-starred. I think it was. I'm not sure how far through I was when he was 6-starred. I just can't remember now. And then that also goes for not Tower of Arrogance. I always click on Tower of Arrogance when I want to click on Rune Dungeon. That also goes for Fafnir's Nest. Ingwe can solo this last stage, but you're going to struggle to get past floor 7. Fafnir is, because of the element, he is just too strong and he will kill your Ingwe. So instead you just choose an Esperanza to go with you. And a little tip here, the quests that say you need to do it on auto, you can manual it all the way up to the last moment and then click auto before the fight ends. And as long as the fight ends with it in auto mode, it'll still qualify. And that's very important. So you can manual this with Esperanza or Nocturne. Nocturne is such a strong hero. If you ever get Nocturne, you are laughing. Yeah, just manual it and then just click it to auto before the fight is over, and job's done. And then you'll find after 7, 8, 9, you will need to be 6-starred at this point onward. I'm pretty sure. I think this was the point where I needed to be 6-starred, was floor 8, and then go through to floor 11, and you're laughing. And that's that for the map and making friends. Okay, now is the right time to talk about farming. We chose Ingwe for a reason, and that reason is that he can solo Fafnir's Nest stage 11. We're new to this, so the time is still high. I think the very first time I did it took 7 minutes. He was only level 47, 6-star level 47. He did it in 7 minutes. But you all start somewhere, and as you beef him up, give him better runes, skill him up, this time will go down and down and down. On my main account, my fastest time is 2 minutes 10 seconds, and it averages between 3 and 3.5 minutes. But the goal here is to farm EXP for your food and runes at the same time, and that is what makes this so efficient, and why as a free-to-play player you should be doing this. Other people who chose Esperanza, they're going to be farming the map separately for XP and then farming the rune dungeon separately, and it all costs energy. So unless you're willing to spend money, you know, to pay for the energy to be doing these 1 minute runs over and over and over again, you know, don't do that. what a waste. What we're going to be doing is we're going to line up 20 runs on auto, go and do something for an hour, come back, and it's done, and we have got food leveled up, we've got loads of good runes. You know, that is the way to do it in my opinion, absolutely. And it's the way I do it. I've never farmed the zone, I only farm Fafnir's Nest because it's just so efficient, and I'm making, on my main account I was making two 6 stars every week, and when I then sort of stopped putting so much effort in, one 6 star a week, you know, that's brilliant. You know, for mostly AFK, low energy, all you have to do is you use your free energy when you wake up in the morning, you set it to 20, you come back an hour later, you've done them all, then you use your friend points to buy some more energy, you use your free gems to buy energy, and all of the events will be giving you energy, and you know, you're going to get 4, 5, 6 of these runs a day, no problem. So this is what it's all about. Next you'll be looking at a sealed armory where Vulcan will solo farm floor 10 much the same way that Ingwe farms floor 11 in Fafnir's Nest. Most of these runes you won't need yet, they're more of endgame PvP runes, but you do get what are they called? Stun runes. I can't think of the name of the set. Earthquake, that's it, Earthquake runes. Putting an Earthquake set on Freya will make her way more useful with her AoE attacks, especially in dealing with the Tower of Arrogance hard mode into floor levels. Next we will look at Arena. Now, so far we've not been bothering with Arena. As you can see, I have a single unit defense, and that is so that we can try and get revenge on someone that kills me, as that is one of the path quests for Arena. Going into Arena, the best thing to do to start with is just to ditch and lose on purpose. Just challenge your opponent, start the battle, and then once it's started, just quit. Forfeit the match. There we go. Click on the door and we're out. And that will count towards your path, main mission paths for arena attempts. And also keep you nice and low level, because at some point you will come to some quests, I believe, in the arena path. One is to win 3 in a row, and then one is to win 10 in a row. And ditching these early is going to make that much easier. Once you have Ingwe farming Fafnir and you're getting those runes and you're starting to get Vulcan farming Aglos, that's the time when you want to start thinking about arena and PvP. Next I want to talk about the importance of joining a guild as early as possible. I think it's around stage 3 normal on the map, very early on, that the ability to join a guild pops up. Just join any old guild, it doesn't matter to start with. Later on, find a good guild, find a really social guild that matters, but you know, at least up until the point of this guide that we're doing now, just any guild you can get into easily is fine. There's sort of 2 main reasons for getting in a guild early. The first is the guild raid. Each day you will get a different elemental boss, apart from the weekend. That doesn't happen at the weekends, and each 5 floors of this boss reward you a one-time reward, which is really good. But also there is a daily reward, which is like a huge bundle of things that will pop up on the screen here with summons and runes and all sorts of goodies, based on how far you have progressed overall. At stage 40 here, you get a light and dark scroll, and you get one of those for each element. So once you reach stage 40 on all of these, you're going to have 5 light dark scrolls to use, which is going to really help your account, I promise you. Doesn't matter who you get, they're all good. They all have uses in the game. So yes, do that every day. Use and I should tell you the way to do it. The best way to do it is to throw Ingwe in. Put Freya as the leader for speed once she's awakened. If she's not awakened, just throw Ingwe on his own, as long as he's got his vampire runes. You know, if on your first day you haven't got all the vampire runes, and that's fine. Wait till the end of the day before reset. Reset is midnight GMT, and just see how far he can get on your first day if you haven't got his vampire runes yet. That's fine, just let him do that. But don't fill up all 4 spaces with useless heroes, because when you take... if you can beat the enemies on the screen within a certain number of turns, it'll actually catapult you forward like as many turns as you didn't take. And you'll see when you do it what I mean. I can't recreate it now because I've already taken my turns. But just throwing Ingwe in there and him soloing it is a really strong way, and that's what I did to get to stage 40 here. It's just Ingwe on his own, with Freya for a speed lead, but she dies really early, so it's not a big deal. And then the other thing that's really important about guilds is the guild store, and specifically the Lakshmi hero. You get 30 per week, 30 fragments per week, and she takes 200 to pull. So from 6 to 7 weeks is when you're going to get her. Reset is Monday morning, I think it's midnight Sunday night is the weekly reset. So you know, get in there fast, get those pieces bought as quickly as possible, and it's quite a lot of these guild points. So the best way to get these guild points is to contribute gems or crystals. They're not gems, they're crystals. As you can see here, 10 crystals. There's also one for 20 crystals. I promise you it's worth it. The amount of points you get compared to everything else is huge, and these are valuable. This is a valuable resource. After your 6 or 7 weeks when you have Lakshmi, not so much, don't worry about it so much. But also buying these is also really important as well, and this has helped us get to where we are after 6 days. We have bought both of these. These are maxed out 4-star promotion fairies. A lot of work goes to create an equivalent food, so these are very valuable. These 4 here, in fact, are the most valuable on here. Don't worry about Artemis too much. I've never found a use for her, although she is nice. I've not actually needed her. And these 2 here are your backups if you've got an excess of points to spend. So that's it for the guilds. As I say, don't worry who you join to start with. You can find a really good guild after you've completed, after this first week. There is a 24-hour call-off period from leaving a guild to finding a guild, and I highly recommend going to the Discord to find just to join the community. The Discord, you will find it here in the settings, in the links. There is a link to the Discord. This is a mobile and PC app. Really good on PC because it has free voice comms, like brilliant for games. If you don't know about Discord, you know, it's 2020, you probably know about Discord by now because it's the free communications network. It's so good. On there you will find loads of guides and help and a community, and there's a section on there for guilds. You can look on there, find the guild. There's also your... I'm not sure where you find it. There's a ranking. Here we are, rankings. This is what I did when I found my home guild, which is Jelly Stampede. My main account is in Jelly Stampede, and I love these guys. We've got our own Discord, and we have a great time. But there are other community ones as well. Spaceland, he's got his own community. I can't think of the guy's name now, but he's got like 4 of these guilds. I don't know how they're all faring at the moment, but when I started playing they were very prominent. Yeah, I'm very glad to be in a Jelly Stampede. They weren't at 20 when I joined, they were way down, but if they're in top 100 and you notice they've got members missing, and you can then see if they will take people on. Type them into the guild thing, find them, or talk to them, find someone in chat in the Discord first and chat to them. but that's the best way. You know, find a community where they talk to each other, where this guild chat is populated with people talking, and then especially ones that say they have their own Discord. Often they will have where is it written? Up here, look. Often if they've written in here that they have a Discord, they're probably active. So, you know, guilds are important and the community is important, and it'll keep you playing this game. Next, what should we talk about next? Okay, let's now talk about hero progression, which is very key to getting Ingwe to 6-star and farming on day 4. The main way we are doing this is by creating these maxed out promotion fairies at 5-star. As you can see here, I have 5 times 5-star ready to turn Freya or whoever I choose into a 6-star. The way you do this, from the chains, the quest chains, you will receive these promotion fairies. You get them from achievements, you also get them from events, you can also buy them from the guild shop, as I said earlier, and that is how you are going to get those fed off. You're going to find that you get loads and loads of 2-star and 3-star promo fairies. We're going to go to the shop. What's the quickest way to get to it from here? We're going to go to this silver coin store, open all these slots, and as you can see, we've got a 2-star promo fairy for sale. We've got all these 2-stars for sale. You are going to have to be a little bit wary of your balance, your silver balance here. But what I've always done is every time I see a 2-star, as long as I've got room in my bags, I will buy those 2-stars and then use this fast promotion system to feed those 2-stars to a 2-star fairy. And you can select multiple fairies here. You can, if you've got 6 in your bag, select all 6, come in here, and then just hit auto. It'll automatically populate that with the food, and there we go, we've now got a 3-star. We do the same again with 3-star promo fairies. We don't have any in stock at the moment, but those 3-star promo fairies, that's who we're going to feed all of these 3-stars that we get from summons that we don't want to keep. There is kind of a list of heroes we do want to keep and sort of a methodology behind it, but what I will say is until Ingwe is 6-starred, I would treat nearly all 3-stars as fair game to feed away. If I was to pull an Ekaterina or an Elaine or a Sia, I would certainly keep those, but other ones I would probably be tempted to feed away. The way to decide at this point is probably to look at combination. In the summoning section is hero combination, and down the bottom is Charlotte, who should be, in my opinion, should be your first combination. You do get a little reward. There is a combination reward the first time you make these, but she is used in TOA, and this reset especially, she's going to be needed quite quickly to kill Lucifer. There are other options, but she's just really good at it. So I would recommend that you don't feed away this particular set of 3-stars straight away. However, once Ingwe is 6-starred, I would then start collecting all of these combination heroes. Absolutely make sure that I'm not throwing any of these away until I've got all of the 4-stars. If I've got all of the 4-stars and any duplicates that I know I want to keep, for example, I would want 2 Lucifers because I'd like to keep one and use it. I would want 2 Fausts because I want to keep one for TOA. You might want to have 2 Muspels because he can be used for farming stage 7 on the map, and you would certainly want to have your own Thea to keep as well. But everyone else, every sub-hero, once you've got these 4-star that you want to keep and you've also got 1 for combination, you can then feed off these sub 3-stars. That's fine. You're not going to need them again, so don't waste your storage space on them. Just feed them away. All of the heroes, I'm thinking further down the line now, after you've got Ingwe, once you've got to the end of this guide, then you want to start keeping all of the 3-stars that aren't currently used in hero combination, and that's because the game is more than likely going to add hero combination to the game, and the chances of it using the same heroes that are already used are very low indeed. So that is a strong argument for keeping all these spares that you certainly, if you don't need them now, I would still keep one of each, and one of each 4-star for definite. There's no way I would be feeding off any of these natural 4-stars at all, unless you've looked into them and you just know that you don't want them. Then you could get rid of them. But even so, like, don't do it. Don't throw them away. Keep one of each, because you're going to need them eventually. I promise you. When you get rid of them, you're going to regret it. So that's it for which ones to keep and which ones to sell off. Just keep leveling up your promos. Feed as many as you want. Just keep an eye out for these special ones. I have got a video, as I said. I'll link it down in the description. There's a video on which ones to keep for Tower of Arrogance and that sort of thing. But yeah. Okay, so next let's talk about hero and rune progression and how it ties in with the path guide. Various final bosses across the map will they'll have a little set of runes floating above their head. That is a rune pack that will go into your mail, into the storage section, so there's no time limit on them, and they can be obtained there, and they'll give you 6 runes, 1 for each slot. At various points in the main path guide, it will ask you to obtain a certain number of runes of a certain quality, and the quickest and easiest way to do that is to then unpack those from your storage. So that's a really good way of doing that. For your champions, Ingwe, you're going to want to put your vampire runes on him, and you will collect those. Freya, you usually start off by putting these damage runes on her, but you can also then put the second set of vampire runes on there, which you get from the final day of your 5-day login. So that will also help her improve her survivability. I haven't done that because I've moved them onto Vulcan, because I wanted to start using Vulcan. But for you, if you're going to delay collecting Vulcan, because you don't have to get them straight away, just put those on those two. For the path guides that ask you to equip a rune and to level up runes, you don't necessarily have to do that on these big ones, because it costs a lot of silver to upgrade these runes. A tip here, before I go on, is that you can actually click on this and it gives you extra options. So if you've got a blue rune with 2 substats, let's find a blue rune. A blue rune with 2 substats, if you go to upgrade, every 3 levels of upgrade will increase one of these substats. So on a blue rune, if you want to see how the dice is going to roll, you can just upgrade to 6. So you can just click on it now. You can just click on that, and it will do that for you all the way to 6. But the thing to remember here is that the cost is quite low. This is a 6-star rune. This is a bad example, so I'm going to stop there. But if you have some 1-star runes, some little white 1-star, 2-star, 3-star runes, they cost hardly any silver to level up. So when you have these quests to level up runes and you don't have a lot of silver, do these little 1-star runes, even though you're not going to use them, because it's such a small price to pay just to get that quest out of the way and done with, and move you on to better rewards. And you can always sell them afterwards, it doesn't really matter. And there's also like a little cheat when it says to equip a certain number of runes. Let's go to the rune. If you click up here, it'll show you what runes you've got equipped to people. I don't think I've got any now that have just like a white rune on them, but find the lowest runes you can. Gawain's probably, I don't know what Gawain's got on him. No, they're 5 stars, they're not really. But anyway, find the lowest quality rune you can and just take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on, and that will count towards the quest. So if you don't have all these awesome runes to equip and you don't want to put runes on certain people, don't take them out of your storage early. Just use little crap runes and just equip them and unequip them, and that will work fine. As I said, we're putting all our eggs in one basket to start with in Ingwe, but Freya is also well worth investing into. These two will get you all the way through the map, as I've shown you before, on hard mode for sure, and then with a bit of friends help. So once you've done that, and once you've got all the way to the end of your path guide, then you can branch out, then you can start bringing in other heroes. And that's going to segue us onto Trial of Arrogance, and what we're going to do at the end of this guide, where you're going to go once this guide is over and what your next steps should be. So let's look at Tower of Arrogance. Tower, there it is, has its own little shortcut. This resets each month, and the bosses, if you click on it, it has 100 floors. After floor 50, I mean, it's basically, you can auto it to 50 with like an in-way team, that's fine, and there is even an option to auto it once you have completed it. You can click on this auto and tell it to go to floor 49 there, look, and it will go as high as you've ever been. So I have been to floor 49 on this account, so I can't auto past floor 49. And you can auto to that in AFK if you know you're going to do that. After 49, on stage 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100, there are special bosses who do require tactics to kill, and there are guides on my YouTube. Don't search for the floor number, search for the boss's name, because each reset, when this resets each month, the floors change and the bosses change who's going to be on the floors, so it's better to search for the boss's name rather than that. But the rewards are so good for doing the Tower of Arrogance. These are your 10 stage rewards, your one-time reward stage 10s, and then your intermediary floors will reward you with these special summon crystals. I think it's 50 crystals is one summon from your selective summon. It's not selective, it's a limited pool of heroes. I might as well show you it while we're messing about and I'm talking about it. We go to summon Spirit, that's what it's called, and this will change in 8 hours time. This is going to change. It always has a 5-star light dark, it always has a 4-star light dark, and then 2 other 5 stars and 5 other 4 stars, and that will change. Save up these stones. Like this particular set here is crap. These aren't the best champions at all. These aren't worth your summon stones. Belf has very niche use, but if that was Nocturne there, I would throw everything at trying to get that Nocturne. I would probably even buy some packs that had some stones in if they were cheap. You know, I would try and get that Nocturne because he is awesome. Apollon, Apophis, Jacko. Oh, there's so many 4-star light and darks that are fantastic, and this is one of your ways of getting it. Also, if you're missing something from hero combination and they're on here, that's another reason to potentially pull from this. But anyway, I've been digressing. Let's head back and try and get back on track with what I was talking about with Tower of Arrogance. Once you've beaten stage 60, I believe. Let's see what it says. Let's try and... I don't like that it backs out all the way. Let's try and go to hard mode. So, as you can see here, you can't enter until you've done floor 60 of normal mode. Hard mode is significantly harder, and it's... you get 5 heroes instead of 4, and the rewards are significantly better. This is kind of a bit of an end game scenario, so this is what you're aiming for in the long run. But in the more short term, it's backed all the way out again. In the short term, one of your first goals after this guide is to try and get all the way through the Tower of Arrogance. And as I've said, I've got guides on this, but there's like a specific set of units that are going to help you. I also have a guide which tells you which 3 stars and 4 stars to keep quite well focused on this Tower of Arrogance guide, so please check out my channel for that. And that's going to be your next progression, is Tower of Arrogance normal, and then like a side thing you have these element only. You can only use teams made up of that specific element. So Ingwe here is going to do well. You know, we're going to do well on Green Day, but this is also more of a long-term progression. I don't know when it resets, or if it even resets. I've never actually seen these resets, so they may be a one-time deal. But getting to stage 100 of a specific element is going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. It's not even 100, it's 200, so this is another long-term goal and something to aim for. A reason to build more teams beyond what you just need to start with. So that's like another end game element. The other end game element is Alter Realm. Here you have 3 elements and you get 3 entries per day. My advice here is to choose one to focus on, and then just auto the other two with whatever you've got. There are entry requirements. Your heroes have to be over level 50 to enter, and then what you need is each boss is different, but the bosses at some point lay these mines, and if you have heroes that can knock back, you can knock back these mines to the boss, and when they detonate they do big damage. So that's one way. And then so what you want to do is pick one. You can auto them all to start with, decide which one, pick one each day, auto it, next day try another one, auto it, when you've got enough heroes, decide which one you're going to be best at, then focus on it and do it on manual, and get as much damage on that boss as you can on manual, and then just auto the other two once you get enough heroes. Eventually you're going to be manualing all three, when you've got awesome teams. But this is another end game progression system. But in the short term, pick one, auto the other two. That's the only place you can get crit damage runes at the moment. At the moment I'm making this video, they have announced an expansion to this game where more map is going to be brought out, and there's going to be new rune sets. I will cover those when they come. But for now, this is what we've got. Okay, so that's the end of this video. It's been a long one, and to anyone who's made it this far, well done. I hope that I've covered everything. I'm really trying to cover all bases here and help you through this so that you can have such a successful start and have you farming for good runes on day 4. That'd be amazing, just like I did. Let me know if you like this video. If you need more help, if you've got any questions, just ask in the comments. I'm happy to answer your questions. You can also find me in the official Discord, which you'll be able to find in-game here in these settings. There is a link. Don't click on delete account, come on, behave. Click on the link there and then click on Discord and you'll find your way there. I'm here to help. I'm happy to answer your questions. I hope this has helped you so far, and until next time, I'll see you in game.